to astrology, angels, and more. Thank you so much for tuning in again. We have a wonderful show tonight. I'm Mary Silvernail, your host, and we'll be talking tonight about the Christmas angel and some astrology factors of what's going on in the heavens right now and how it affects your everyday life, and a lot of other wonderful things. So thank you for tuning in. I would like to talk about the Gemini full moon that we are experiencing today, December the 12th. And it happened at 12:12 a.m. That's when the moon was completely full. And today, December the 12th, is the date of the taping of this show. The Gemini full moon spotlights duality and communication. And this is the full moon of communication. And this is a perfect time to communicate with anyone that has gone through the veil, that you would like to communicate with, your loved ones, and of course your loved ones here on Earth. But this is perfect timing, actually, for the rest of this month of December 2019. Gemini is a very flexible sign, and this is a great time for multitasking. And the holiday season upon us now is a time that we all need to multitask. So this is going to be giving you the energy from this Gemini full moon, is going to be giving you the energy for the rest of this month to be able to accomplish all those multitasks that you have. But watch out for any confusion that may happen due to the fact that Neptune is making a square to this particular full moon. But Neptune's influence will actually even soften any hard boundaries that you've been having in your life at this time, and could allow your creative forces to flow. This full moon is also shining a brilliant, protective, angelic light on the earth, giving us the joy and the peace that we need so badly at this time. Now, on December 21st, it will be the time of Capricorn. So happy birthday to any of you Capricorns out there with the sun sign Capricorn. Capricorn is the 10th sign of the zodiac. Saturn is the ruler of the sign of Capricorn, and Saturn is the teacher. There's a lot of Capricorns or Capricorn rising that are teachers as a profession, or maybe spiritual teachers in this lifetime. Now, black and royal blue are the power colors for Capricorn, and garnet and onyx, those are Capricorn's power gems. Capricorns are loyal, faithful, practical, and they carry with them much dignity. They can be a little bit possessive, and they are the workaholics of the zodiac. So if you know a Capricorn, or if you're a Capricorn, or if you have a Capricorn in your life, I bet you any amount of money they're a very hard worker. So now also December 21st, that's the time of the Capricorn solstice, which is the return of the light. And it's the shortest day of the year. This is the perfect time to use your intuition and associate with others who are going in the same direction as you on this beautiful soul journey toward the light. Give yourself time to envision your intentions for the coming year and what builds your soul's light at this time of the return of the light. On December 26th, we'll experience the Capricorn solar eclipse. Eclipses are very powerful astrological aspects. This one in particular, on December 26th, will be linking our emotional side of our human nature and our logic. Deep emotional needs can surface at this time. It would be good to look back to July 2019 and see what was happening in your life at that time. Were those emotional issues resolved, or are they still lingering on from July of 2019? There was an eclipse back in July involving the same sort of astrological aspects. At this time, there is also an astrological stellium, and a stellium is a grouping of three or more planets in the same astrological sign, which makes it very strong, very powerful for that particular zodiac sign. And there's a stellium of 7 placements in the sign of Capricorn. And their power is there, very strong. The key here is to balance your hard work and emotions, and you will be the winner. As I said before, Capricorns are the workaholics of the zodiac. Remember, it's not on the outside that glitters in the light. It's what you have on the inside that shines in the dark. I would also like to talk about the fact with the holidays approaching, it brings to mind the Magi's discovery of the Star of Bethlehem, which was an indication of the birth of the King of Man. Many people are unaware that the 3 wise men, the Magi, were actually astrologers / astronomers, and that the Star of Bethlehem was actually an astrological planetary conjunction of the planet Venus and Jupiter in the constellation of Leo, very close to the star of Regulus. This planetary aspect was the indication to the Magi, to the astrologers, the astronomers at that time, because back then, astrologers and astronomers were as one. But this was the indication to them, this alignment of the stars, of the birth of the Savior. This holiday season, give yourself the gift of opening your heart and opening your mind to new ideas and possibilities, and just watch the abundance of opportunities that this universe will send your way. Now, I'd like to also go into January a little bit here, astrologically, because I may not be able to tell you this until the next show, and this date might have already passed. So I'm going to go a little bit ahead here and tell you that on January the 10th, that there's a Cancer lunar eclipse. And there's a lot of role reversal that'll be happening again. And this also has to do with last July, regarding whatever you were dealing with last July. So just go back in your calendar and look at that and think about it, because this will be your opportunity to set everything perfectly straight. There's a strong emotional effect because of that stellium again of Capricorn. Capricorn is really leading the race here in the stars with the whole alignment of many planets in the sign of Capricorn. Just stand back and look and assess exactly what's going on in your life at this time. Because with these two eclipses, you have the opportunity for absolutely beautiful, beautiful change. Now, I also have on my website, which is hopehypnosis.com, all the information that I'm relaying to you tonight astrologically. It's in the astrology column that I write for newspapers and magazines. I also post it on my website. So anything that, any of the information that I've given you, you can go back and just simply look on my website and find that information. And at this time, we're going to be talking about the Christmas angel, Archangel Gabriel. So to join me in this wonderful conversation, I have the same guest that you saw last month that was on the show. Welcome, Kirsten.
Hello,
Welcome
Mary.
back again.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm
yes.
very excited to be here,
Yes.
and I appreciate the opportunity to have a conversation
So that
with everybody
we can
again.
fulfill the rest of our conversation we had last month, right?
Correct.
Finish it up. So this is part 2.
Yes.
Right. And Kirsten, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you in
Sure.
case someone didn't see last month's show.
Okay, my name is Kirsten Sciallo, and I am a Karuna Holy Fire Reiki Master Teacher. I'm also a special education teacher, and I'm very happy to be here today.
I'm so happy to have you. The last show was absolutely wonderful, so if you'd like to go back and go on YouTube, you can find the show. It's already posted up there, right?
Yep.
And so Archangel Gabriel, oh boy, he's the messenger. So we were talking about Gabriel earlier. How do you relate with Gabriel?
Well, being one of your students from the Reiki classes, you have taught me just such valuable information as far as healing and being able to protect and just be able to just, hone in on the divine source and light and love of Gabriel. And I actually utilize angel cards that I have that you have told me about as well. And any time that I feel the need to just pray and bring in any type of just assistance, I'll utilize Gabriel, some of the angels we talked about last week.
Right. We talked about a few of them last week, too.
Yeah.
But Archangel Gabriel, the reason that I would like to really talk about Gabriel for this particular show is because he is the Christmas angel. And, as we know, angels are neither male or female.
Right.
So I refer to him as him. But this is beautiful Gabriel. This is Archangel Gabriel. He's from my personal collection. And Gabriel is the messenger. Gabriel was mentioned many, many times in the Bible. Gabriel is the one who came and told Mary that she was going to be the mother of the baby Jesus. And that's why Christians celebrate Christmas, right? So therefore, and at the same time, also Gabriel is the one who went into the fields and told the shepherds of the birth of baby Jesus. And so, I mean, Gabriel is the messenger. Gabriel, usually, there's a lot of different aspects in reference to Gabriel. Now, this particular statue of Gabriel, he's holding a quill, a pen, okay, a quill, and paper. And he is the writer. He's the communicator. There's a lot of people that are born with the guardian angel, Gabriel. And Gabriel, a lot of those people are writers, or they work in the show business industry, or they are in some form of telecommunications or something like that. And which I find so interesting, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely do. And I'm thinking of that as, you said that everybody's born with their guardian angel. And, that may play a lot into how they do interact with the world, perhaps, their role. And I really, I can relate to that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, anyone who has the guardian angel of Gabriel, their power color is actually white, because Gabriel loves the color white. And Gabriel, the reason is because Gabriel, if Gabriel appears to you, because, angels can appear in many different ways, but usually it's like a ray of light that comes down. And a lot of times people mistake that, and they don't realize that's actually their angel. They just think that it's they aren't sure exactly what it is. But Gabriel comes on a beautiful white ray, and sometimes also like a golden copper ray of light. And what I like to think about is, Gabriel is usually depicted with his horn. Gabriel, come blow your horn. And actually, the picture that we have here behind us on the set is a beautiful picture of Gabriel with his horn. And so I like to think that the reason we see either the white light of Gabriel, because he loves the white, beautiful light, and this is how he appears, or sometimes that golden or like a copper color light, is due to the fact of his horn. And that's what
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that is cool.
Yeah. So anyway, but Archangel Gabriel is a very powerful angel. He also had appeared to Elizabeth in the Bible to tell her, right? And so you know a little bit about that, right?
Yeah, I like I said, every day I'm calling upon Gabriel, just as soon as I wake up, and just asking for guidance throughout the day, and just to lead and help to lead the way. And, I'm a teacher, so I'm constantly needing to be able to communicate and use my voice in such a way that might be a little more sensitive at times, and being able to relate to everybody.
Well, so tonight, before we started the show, when we were sitting here and we were talking, and then for a little while, I don't know if you noticed, I went into a little bit of a meditation, and I was calling upon all the angels, as I usually do before I do a show. But Archangel Gabriel, especially tonight, to be able to communicate everything that we needed to in order to help the audience. There's a lot of ways that you can connect with Archangel Gabriel, because he is the writer and he loves to communicate through writing. This is something that I actually teach in some of my angel classes. I don't know if you ever
With the auto.
Yeah.
And that
Okay,
is
there we go.
definitely, yes.
Yeah. What you can do at home is you can, get into a quiet room, a quiet space, maybe play some nice little music in the background, beautiful meditation music or angelic music, and just sit comfortably. Maybe if you want to wear all white, that's wonderful, but you don't have to. But Archangel Gabriel loves water also. So it would be wonderful if you get a little white flower, maybe a little white rose. It has to be a real flower, though,
Yeah.
not plastic. And put it in a little glass of water, because the water is going to conduct the energy to communicate with Gabriel. Because what your intention here is to communicate with Gabriel. So, and maybe you have a nice white stone, such as you have the selenite over
Okay.
there. Okay, Gabriel
here.
loves selenite, yes. And then we also have here some clear quartz crystal, and Gabriel absolutely vibrates beautifully with this. By the way, also, Gabriel loves pearls. Yeah, loves pearls because they're white, And so anyway, so you just sit comfortably and you take a few deep breaths and you go into a meditation if you want to. If you don't know how to, that's okay. You just take a few deep breaths, have a pen and a paper. Now, Gabriel and the angels, by the way, they love green ink. For some reason, they love green ink. I'm not exactly sure why that is. I've never been able to figure that one out.
I'm wondering if it has anything to do with the heart chakra.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right, or healing.
Ooh,
How about that?
I'm thinking
okay,
that.
green
Yeah.
is the color of healing. And so now you open your heart and
Yeah.
you open your mind. And you just sit there comfortably, and whatever questions or worries or problems that you have on your mind, just sit there with the pen and the pad and allow yourself to write. Because what will happen is Gabriel will actually give the information to you and answer your questions. So even if it feels like it's you doing it, trust it, just flow. It's called automatic writing, but Archangel Gabriel absolutely loves to help people that way.
That's really, really good information.
Yeah.
And I think, that's something that people want to be able to have some assistance and maybe just a little bit of guidance when they have questions and just are maybe experiencing some things emotionally. And so that sounds like a very private, peaceful way
Yes.
to connect with them, their own selves, because a lot of
Yes.
times the answers do come from within when
Yes.
you have that space to set aside to actually do that.
Right, absolutely. But you have to be in a quiet space.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't have any interference from, somebody walking in or,
Right.
anything like that. But the thing is that you will be surprised. It's shocking because in my angel classes, many times people are absolutely floored with what comes out on that paper. The answers that they've been trying to seek, like maybe even their whole lives,
Yeah.
And it's just awesome. It's
Sounds
just
really
wonderful.
powerful.
Yes, Archangel Gabriel. But he, you can do that yourself anyway. You can do any automatic writing anytime that you wish, and you can call upon any of the angels. They'll be there. It isn't just Gabriel. However, I have found that Gabriel just seems to really do it very well.
Right.
It's gentle, it's easy. And Archangel Gabriel loves water. So when you're by the water, such as, we live at the Jersey Shore,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And so we're right by the water.
Yes.
But if you don't live by the ocean or by the bay, you could still even go to a river or even a creek of water,
yeah, yeah.
as long as it's free-flowing water. And you just stand there and you have a conversation with the angels and a conversation with Archangel Gabriel. I have a friend of mine that's what he does, and he goes to the beach, and the miraculous way that the angels communicate with him there, it's just tremendous, including formations in the clouds and all kinds of beautiful things like that. Anyway, but yeah, Gabriel is the one that really likes to work with that the most. And let me see here. Yeah, Gabriel is the one who helps with visions. You were talking about that before, right? And helps solve problems. Let's see. And Gabriel means, we were talking about this in the car earlier. What the name Gabriel means? God is great.
God is great. I was just
Right.
going to say gift from God, but
Gift
God
from
is
God,
great.
right. God is great. Yeah, we were talking about that when we were coming here.
Yes.
And, all religions recognize Archangel Gabriel. It's as the messenger, which that's so cool. Even in the book of Enoch. Let me see. I was trying to see if I have any other notes here that could, and also, the fact that you're a teacher.
Yes.
And you said that you call upon Gabriel to help you with your
Yes.
words and everything.
Yes.
Because Gabriel loves to help children.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, with the teaching profession, you're also working with various parents and maybe situations that may not always be at a space that there's a lot of healing and
Right.
So being able to call upon Archangel Gabriel, I'm able to find that the words flow out maybe in a way that is, reaching each and every one of the people that I'm trying to get my information out or explain. Just try to help them maybe communicate back with me.
Yeah, people that work in sales, Archangel Gabriel can help a lot with that, because Gabriel will help get the words out perfectly, just perfectly.
Especially during this time of season, right?
Yeah, and it's amazing to me too. You don't know her. I have a friend of mine. Her name is Greta, Greta Morton, and she is a host of her show, America View from the Top. And I had been a guest on her show several times, and I'd be driving to the studio and be calling upon Archangel Gabriel to help her and to help me when she was interviewing me, and when for the show to be perfect and to be able to get the information out to the people in the audience and help them, right?
I like with what you just said, interviewing each other. People could call upon Gabriel if they have an important interview coming up, a job interview or something.
Absolutely, in any way of speech. But the reason that I brought up Greta is because it used to amaze her that I would be calling upon Gabriel, and she didn't realize initially that I had been doing this.
Oh, okay.
And every time then I would show up at the studio, she'd be wearing white. And I'd say, "Oh, I noticed you're wearing white." And she said, "Yeah, I don't know. I thought I was going to wear something else, but I don't know, Mary. And she'd have on white." And that was Gabriel's influence, because he was shining that beautiful white light on her, and she just felt drawn to the color white.
It's a perfect example.
You see?
That really is.
Yeah. Another thing is my granddaughter, Ava, she, when she was a baby, I received this beautiful picture of a portrait of her that her mother had taken at a studio. And she's in a little Christmas dress, a little red Christmas dress, and she's holding these white pearls. And I found it so perfect because Ava's guardian angel happens to be Archangel Gabriel.
Oh,
And
that's sweet.
I was thinking, yeah, and her
That's
mother
really
didn't
sweet.
realize that, you know? And it was just so perfect. So actually, every year around Christmas time, I write about that to put, you know, in the into my column. Anyway, so now also, you know, in reference to Archangel Gabriel's visit to the Virgin Mary. Yeah. So you know about that from the Bible and everything. Okay. And so what do you have to say about that?
Just as we've been talking about, just the actual power of the messages coming from Gabriel to be able to share the message of God.
And look at that one. Look at that message, right? And you know, that we were also talking about on the way here tonight when we were driving in from New Jersey. We were talking about the messages with the numbers, the divine numbers. How about that, Kirsten? Because
Yeah.
I know that, because I know you personally, I know that you are always noticing the numbers.
Absolutely. Ever since, you know, I was in your classes, you helped to teach me, you know, that there are ways that our beautiful angels can communicate with us. And
Yes.
one of the ways is through the numbers. So, for instance, if you have a cash register receipt or, you know, you find yourself seeing a number, we'll pick a 111, for example, and you see it on the receipt, and then you go home and you happen to look at your clock and it's 111. And then later in the day, you know, you realize, oh, it's January 11th. Okay, so
Imagine that, right?
all of these things, I find that those are, you know, the keys to taking a look. Sometimes in the beginning, especially, I would Google. I'd say, oh, 111. What is this? What message am I trying to get? And that one is about manifestation and, you know, just getting your wishes fulfilled. So at that time, you know, you may want to set an intention for yourself.
Right, absolutely.
Because that portal is open for you. That
Yes.
communication is open for you. So, you know, just like the ones, then you can go into 222, you know, and that I find is the balance, the harmony. And maybe you live in a house number 222, you know,
Right.
and you
That's
also
right.
can get your vibrations from and the energy from the angels in the home you live in. So 222 with the balance and the
It's very
stability
important.
and
Very important. When any time that I have ever moved in my life, I always looked at the address because that's the vibration. Because what numbers are a divine vibration. Everything
Yes.
is a vibration in this universe. Everything is. But in reference to messages from angels, many times it comes in the form of numbers. And that's
Absolutely.
what you were saying.
Yes.
Right? And it's the divine syncrasy of those numbers. I actually have a note here of some of the numbers in reference to divine timing. And you're absolutely right what you were saying in reference to the portal opening, because you know any sequence of numbers, it is the opportunity. It's giving you an opportunity to say a prayer, make a wish, set an intention. That's absolutely true. Now, when we were coming here today, you
Yes.
kept telling me a specific
I
number.
sure did.
And I have something right here in reference to that.
Oh, yeah.
So what was the special number you kept saying?
Special number was definitely the 5, and originally we were driving past a truck, and it was 5555.
Yeah.
We pulled into the studio, and something was 555.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's
and
amazing, isn't it?
It's
It's
beautiful.
absolutely amazing. It's just divine timing.
Yes.
And it's the synchronicity and the energy of the numbers. Now, 555 is that change is happening. So if you happen to notice 555 a lot, like it says it on your clock, or it says it, like Kirsten said, on a receipt or something like that, or if you notice it in a phone number and you just keep seeing 555, 555, 555, it means that there's a change happening in your life. And to expect miracles that change your life to come very, very soon. Because that's, when you see sequences of numbers like that, it's a message.
Yes.
From the universe, from the angels, from the universe, from God. Now, the other one that you were talking about, which is the 111. So many people notice that, right?
They do.
And the 4 ones. And
Yes.
1 is alpha. So what you're looking at, and alpha, omega. And that's God. So the number 1 is alpha, and 0 is omega. And we were talking about 0 on the way here too tonight.
We
Remember
were.
that? Yeah, that was pretty cool what we were talking about. So 0 is,
I was talking
before.
that, just that I know when I see 000, it's just God's, energy right there that is like pure, and it's precise. So if you see 000, you know that portal, that energy is open for you to be able to put it out there for what you're wishing or wanting to be created. And you'll be supported by God and the angels.
It's God's hand, right? Yeah. So, I have on this little piece of paper here, because I have just a few of the numbers, but 101, portal opening in your life. Expect miracles soon and more alignment. Okay. 1, 2, 3. A lot of people see 1, 2, 3. A lot of people. I've had many of my clients come to me and asking me about that. And that means that progress is being made, and that you'll be able to elevate soon. When we talk about elevate, what we're talking about is your vibration elevating, you evolving, and that is really what it's all about, right? So, but that 555, I found that, so I didn't say anything to you about it when we were coming here, because I wanted to share this with you, that it really means that miracles will be happening very soon. So then we have the 4 ones that I have listed here, and it's the awakening, and it's a shift. That's really what 1111 is. It's a shift that's happening and letting you know that you're on the right path. Don't you find the numbers pretty much positive?
Absolutely, and
Okay.
they support, they're supporting you. It's like the angels cheering for you. And
That's
if
a
you'll
beautiful
take
way. I
if you
love
take the
that.
minute and
Yeah.
you look back, that
love
means
that.
you're at peace for the moment, and you
Right.
can, like you said, the 1, 2, 3. I look at those as steps. I always looked at it like that. So I also look at any numbers that are in the sequence. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're elevating, as you said. Your vibration is elevating, and it's so beautiful. And I'm looking, and I see the 333. But I'm laughing. Last show we had, because this is part 2, was 333. So did you have something you wanted to say about that?
How did you know that?
Because I remember.
How did you know that?
I
Yeah,
remember.
this is exactly what I'd like to say about 333, especially 333. As I had mentioned earlier in the show, this beautiful Gemini full moon is on 12/12, December the 12th, and it happened at 12:12 a.m. Now, in numerology, what we're talking about is all 3s, right?
Correct. Yep.
And to me, that's the Trinity.
Yes.
That's the Trinity at work, and extremely powerful. And a lot of people, wake up. And that's why this moon is it's so powerful.
Right.
It really, really is. But that's why a lot of people wake up at night and they'll see on their clocks 333.
Mm-hmm.
So many people tell me that.
Yeah,
Does that ever happen to you?
Absolutely, and during that time, that's God's time. The
Yes,
message, everybody's so busy during the day, so when, the computers are off and the TVs are off and families are resting, it's more of an open exchange with the angels and God. And so that time is a very beautiful time
With
if you
God.
find yourself waking up. That's
Yes.
a gift.
Yes. So you kept talking about 222.
I-
Actually, the other day, you were talking to me about 222.
Yes.
And what it says is unity.
Mm-hmm.
And that unity is happening, and that miracles can happen for you by aligning you with the people that resonate with you. And to me, the word resonate means that the vibration is good between you and that person.
Absolutely.
And you were dealing with 222 quite a lot.
Right. And, for me too, I was internalizing it as, connecting with my family, okay, getting a balance in. Sometimes work, can become very busy.
Right.
And just it's like a little reminder like, hey, why don't you check in with your family? Why don't you just see, how everything is? Even with your pets. Pets can be your family. Making sure you're making a little more
Pets
time.
are your family. I believe
Right.
they're my family.
Right. So you just,
Absolutely.
when I see that, that's let me pick up the phone and, call my sister and, those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, yeah, it's a message. And, what we're talking about here, the vibration of numbers, also by your birth date. There's so many books on numerology and so much information out there on numerology. You could just Google it and it will bring you through, like taking your birth date and just adding the numbers together. And there's a couple of things that, you're supposed to do besides just adding. Say you were born on June 2nd, then you add the 6 and the 0 and the 2, that's an 8, and then you add up the year. However, if you add up numbers and you come to an 11, a 22, or a 33, well, the 11, then you keep it as an 11. You don't add it as a 1 and a 1 because those are master numbers. But there's so many books and information out there on the internet that you could just Google that. And because really, bottom line, what we're talking about is numerology in reference to the vibration of numbers.
Correct.
So we vibrate at certain numbers. So it isn't just the messages and the divine timing of things
Right.
with the numbers. We vibrate ourselves with those numbers, such as we were talking about a house number.
Correct.
Right. I have noticed in my life, my house number at this particular time, it's been for the past 16 years, equals a 10. To me, I don't see myself moving from there.
Right.
Because, the place that I lived prior to that, it was actually a 9. So the progression of
I
that.
understand that.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah. And that's why, like I was saying before, anytime my son Daniel, he was a guest on the show also, not the last show, the one before that, and he understands the power of numbers. So even whenever he has considered buying another house or moving somewhere else or something like that, or even opening an office or anything, he would always ask me, Mom, this is the address. What do you think? And, because it's the vibration of the numbers.
Absolutely.
You do that yourself, don't you?
Oh, I certainly do. I do. And, as I'm thinking of what we're talking about too, the more frequent, like let's say you see the number 1, and then you see 1, 1, 1, the power of more
increasing.
Yes.
Increasing.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. It's increasing. Besides numbers though, Also, you were talking about before. So and the numbers can actually be messages from the angels. Bottom line, this is what we're talking about. But numbers are, I mean, it's the sacred geometry, and
Yes.
it's the universe. And we were also talking about. I just wanted to mention this, and people will find if they look into numerology, that your name is a particular
Yes.
vibration too, because each letter is a certain numerical vibration, such as the letter A is 1, B is 2, M is 13, like that, and so on and so forth. And then you take all those numbers, you add them up, and then you're going to find out what your path in life is and things like that. So numerology, my sister Judy, she was a wonderful numerologist, and absolutely, I mean, her whole life she watched all the numbers. And I was telling you that she was very good at when she would go to Atlantic City, which she would go from time to time. She'd go to Atlantic City, and she could actually concentrate enough to make the roulette wheel stop at a certain spot. And I was telling you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was
but
cool.
I'm able to do that with the big money wheel with 0 and 1 and yeah, right. But anyway, so that is something also in reference to that vibe, and it's a specific number that a lot of people like. My sister Judy, we were talking about the number 8 earlier.
Right.
And the number 8 is a very powerful number.
Right.
Because that's infinity.
Right.
As above, so below, as
Right.
you were saying. And do you get a lot of 8s in your life? Have you ever noticed that?
I definitely notice, but when I'm doing it, it's on like a license plate or something like that. That seems like one of the predominant ways that I'll see the 8s. But yeah, I know that is just abundance, and that is a very positive sign, I find. And I find financially, and just like you said, it's just...
That's true, but in numerology, sometimes the 4 and the 8 can be a little bit difficult.
Okay, challenging.
Yeah, a little bit
I could see that.
difficult. Yeah, because let's face it, life is balance. It isn't
Correct.
all, So sometimes, but anyway, but there are other ways, and I've spoken of these other ways before, that you'd be able to know that you're getting messages from the angels. So even, the flashes of light, rainbows, seeing a rainbow, even in your dreams. And Archangel Gabriel loves to come and give messages in the dream state. But even floral scents or changes in temperature, and repeated number sequences, the messages from the angels. That's the truth. Now, I wanted to touch a little bit about St. Nicholas, because we're talking about, and we have St. Nicholas here on the table. Right here is beautiful St. Nicholas. And St. Nicholas, this is actually a wonderful ornament that a friend of mine, Kathy, very close friend of mine, Kathy, had given to me. And beautiful, right? So this is St. Nicholas, a.k.a. Santa Claus. All right. So St. Nicholas was actually a saint. And okay, let's see. I have a few notes on St. Nicholas. Let's see. Where is St. Nicholas? Here he is. Okay. He was a bishop, actually. And what happened was he was the original saint that was a Greek born in the late 3rd century, around 280 AD. Okay? He became a bishop in a small Roman town in modern Turkey. And he was just, he was absolutely, he was a defender of the church and doctrine. And during the Great Persecution, it's called in history, he was renounced in Christianity at one point, or face execution. But he defied all of this, and he actually spent some years in prison. And so he became the one with the Christmas connection, because he was the protector of many types of people, from orphans to sailors to prisoners, and he protected so many people. So that's where it all originated from. But Santa Claus is actually Saint Nicholas. And it's miraculous what Santa Claus can do. I believe in miracles. Do you, Kirsten?
I certainly do.
Have you ever noticed that miracles can really happen around Christmas time, around the holiday time?
They surely can.
Okay.
They can. Just if you really truly believe and you pray and ask for God's help and the angels' help, I do believe that anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
I do believe that. Mm-hmm.
Anything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
And so what have your experiences been? Because you've told me a few things that you've experienced in your life that you felt were miraculous.
Oh, absolutely. My sister, she is a miracle every day. She needed a liver transplant, and the likelihood of receiving a liver transplant is very, very, very difficult. And she was on the list for 13 years. And at the very, very last moment, she received the gift of a liver. And she is now 10 years with that liver.
Beautiful.
And it's a blessing.
Yes, it is. That's a miracle.
Isn't that a miracle?
Absolutely, that's a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
That's a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
And, I view a lot of the work that we have done together, in reference to the healings that we've done.
Absolutely.
Miraculous in many ways.
Absolutely.
I had recently a very long time client of mine was going to be going in for an operation, and her daughter called me and asked me if I would please. Her mother asked her to call me, and if I would please ask the angels to come, because the prognosis was not very, very good. And anyway, so the angels came, surrounded her, and she came through that operation miraculously. Let's put it that way. Mm-hmm. And it was the angels at work. It was God at work. And so I believe in miracles every day. But there's something very special about the holiday season, mm-hmm. where people show a little bit more love and consideration. Have you noticed that?
Oh, that is absolutely true. And, you may see people that may not be as capable of putting presents, let's say if you believe in, buying gifts and whatnot during the holidays, and you see people coming out and donating their time, their money, their resources for
Absolutely.
Each other. And that, I think, is what's so beautiful about this time of year.
I do too. I do too. Because even like when you're in a store, last night I was in a store and I was looking for something, and there's a lady in the aisle. She didn't work in the store, but she's telling me, hey, come over here and look up here. I think this is what you're looking for. And just smiling at me and being kind to me.
Right.
People are just a little more loving and giving
Yes.
and connected
Yes.
during the holiday season.
I agree.
Yeah. You know, during the holiday season, I have to tell you, we have some, this is real holly here on the table, but it's really good luck if you take a little sprig of holly, and you throw it on your Yule log in your fireplace or something like that. It'll bring you very good luck for the year. Listen, I just really want to thank you all for watching the show tonight and tuning in. And I wish you all a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful holiday season filled with love and many, many, many bright blessings. So I'd like to wish you, Kirsten, and I'd like to wish our wonderful audience a very, very, very happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, happy holiday, many blessings, many, many bright blessings. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Thank you, Kirsten, for coming.
Thank you so much for having me, Mary. I appreciate it, and I really admire the work that you do.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So also, I think everything looked wonderful today.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
It really did.
I have to tell you, the lady in the store that I was telling you about, I was looking for a little Christmas tree. A friend of mine, Tommy, had suggested that I get a little Christmas tree for the set, and
Perfect.
she's the one who helped me find it.
Absolutely perfect.
Yep.